Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Trading Room for Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Trade your charts, not mine. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right. This is our only session today. Monday was a holiday, so there's no crude report today. Crude report is tomorrow at noon, so I'm not running an inventory session for that. That's a time shift that is going to take some testing, and that's going to take a while since that's something that only happens like about 10 times a year. So it'll be a while before we have enough data to go back to trading that on the days we have a Monday holiday. Our Wednesday sessions will still be fun, but the weeks we have a Monday holiday are kind of off the table right now. Crude's got stopped out of the short. I'm sorry, the YM has stopped out of the short. Crude trying to reach down for money management in a short. Money management at 59.06. Micro Russell is flat. Unleaded is still in the short. That's stop and reverse to long has canceled because it's hit the stop. It just touched the unadjusted entry and it's hit the stop. And we have money management at 78.85. We've gotten as low as 78.86. One tick from money management on the short. We are back to this original short. Soybeans, I actually would wait for a new setup here. The long setup from back at 9 o'clock last night is actually still valid, but there have been two add-ons, one of which ended up being a full loss, the other one canceled, and then you have the short that ended up being a no trade because the hybrid mode kept us out until the trend indicator turned down, and then the entry was well beyond, or the price was well beyond the entry, and it hit target one, so the trade canceled, which that left the calculator still tracking the long. But with that, as a stop and reverse, I would have marketed out of the long as soon as that became a valid trade. And so I would say we are actually looking for a new setup there. Unleaded back to the entry. Crude back up close to the entry as well. And we are in. Looks like we are in a get in sync short on the YM. Oh, no. Actually, yes, that was a get in sync. Well, it got us a break even, and that was about it. So the YM picks up a break even. Or maybe just a couple of ticks. Small, very small partial. Long trade on the micro Russell. That looks like it went to money management. Need 2 ticks. Definitely got that. Looks like it's going to be, yeah, 5. So definitely have money management there. And we stopped out. So break even trade on trade number 1 there. We're still in the short on unleaded. Not micro. Pound Aussie actually is in a short. It's back up to its entry. We took a full loss on the short. It's 844.35 short. It's a 15 pip risk. So 75 pip loss. IM picked up the long trade. That got money management again without getting target 2. It looks like target 1. It looks like. Yeah, just touched money management. So we are still looking for target 1, and we are trailing. Small partial again. Stops at 88. Yeah, 86.88. But that's going to be a POQ trade. Second money management trade. Both were positive. So that will be POQ. There's target 1. So definitely going to be power quitting on this one. Still in the original unleaded short. Calculators showing flat because it triggered it into the unadjusted long. All right, that's a long. It's showing as an add-on, but that actually would be our proper trade there. So soybeans should be long. Because the calculator is still tracking the original, and the stop is the same as the original trade stop. A little bit smaller trade. Unleaded making another, trying to push through the 50 EMA, try to push down the money management again. Micro Russell setting new session highs. All right. YM did stop out. So that will complete that trade plan for today. It's going to be a positive session. I'm going to put unleaded up there. And the micro Russell, micro NQ is in a long. Let's see. Yeah, that's going to be. Now the short trade would have been a full loss. That one would have been within our time. Long trade, it's too early. That's a no trade. So we have a loss, and we are in the long. Loss on the short. in the long, up near the session highs. Crude and unleaded both short. Pound Aussie is short. Soybeans is long, and the micro NQ is long. Crude, money management, and target one. So that's going to be a one and done session. We have a target in hand. Trade is still active, still with position 2, target 2 position in play. Take another loss, stop and reverse to short on the micro NQ. That makes money management and target 2. So we'll move our goal to target 3. That's going to be win number 1. We can take one more loss, up to 3 more trades. Money management and target 1 on unleaded. That was 79.19. Yeah, so we'll come to 79.18. And then as soon as the bar closes, we'll probably come lower than that. Looks like probably 79.02 for the unleaded stop. Pound Aussie taking some heat. And we got far enough to trigger the trailer and stopped out on the trailer on micro NQ. So third trade is in the books. We get a target 2 and targets 3, 4, and trail positions come off just shy of target 1. No new trades on the micro Russell. Crude and unleaded still trying to work their way down. All right. The balance line was 79.06, so 79.08 is our. Let me pick up additional 10 ticks. That orange line is our current stop. Of 3, so we can come down another 2 ticks on this bar. All right, we've got a long setup on micro Russell. 3104, 3106. I'm going to guess that was an avoidable trade. Possible we could be in it, but that would be a loss. So break even. That one was too fast. Well, let's say that. No, that was a break even also. We would have gotten in sync with that, and we'd have hit the stop right here. Actually, on this bar, stop was right there. This one was too early. So break even. And a possible loss. We have a long on micro NQ. Taking heat on this trade. And that stops and reverses to short. That's actually loss number 3 on the stop and reverse. So that will end the session on the micro NQ. 3 losses and 1 win. Short trade on the micro Russell. Makes money management and target. Yep, we got target 3, so we'll go to target 4 now. Trailing stop. At break even. Pound Aussie getting very close to the stop. 200 EMA also coming very close to the stop. If this bar closes without stopping us out, I would adjust around the 200 EMA at this point. And we get stop out at break even, and we go long now on the micro Russell. We have to go up a couple of ticks to get our 14 tick minimum. Target 3 is just below the session high. We go to 48, it looks like. 48 flat. And that is a full loss. Short. Soybeans approaching target 1. It's like unleaded did stop out. We'd have been at 06. So target 1 traders are done. Target 2 traders need another trade. Still trailing a short trade on crude. Target 3 win on Micro Russell. Trailing now. 42.6 and target 4. So this is a good solid win for the Micro Russell. Trade number 4, assuming the earlier long trade I said was in fact an avoidable trade. Crude 1 tick away from target. There's target on crude. So crude definitely makes one and done session. Picking up 15 and 24, 39 ticks. All right, I would adjust around the 200 EMA on the pound Aussie. Hit the unadjusted stop. 200 is at 506.5. Yeah, 506. Or well, 506 and a half. 507. Make it 511. No, 50. That's too much of an adjustment. 509 would be about where you need to be. And I think we stopped out. Yeah, we stopped out. So that is a second full loss, but that I would take the adjusted stop on that. Nice trade on the Micro Russell. Unleaded still looking for a new trade. Soybeans back around just below the entry. All right, we're done with the micro NQ, so I'll bring unleaded back down to where it normally resides. Unleaded, by the way, is on the December contract. Crude hasn't rolled over quite yet, but it should roll over in the next couple of days. Micro Russell stops out. Unleaded picks up a long trade. Unleaded for trade for target 2 traders only. Target 1 traders got a one and done on that. We will do a 10 a.m. crude mini session today. So 2 break-evens, a loss, and a win on the micro Russell. We can take 2 more trades. Soybeans at the entry. 10 is 1,005 flat and dropping a tick below. Crude showing a short setup. We have a bit over 5 minutes before the 10 a.m. crude mini session. Unleaded taking heat on the long trade. So YM, 9 a.m. crude, and micro NQ are done. Micro Russell can take 2 more trades. Pound Aussie can take up to 4 more. Soybeans in its first trade. Unleaded in its second. Looks like the crude trade did trigger, so that would be a possible get in sync for 10 o'clock. Go ahead and mark that up. So 3:40 to go to our 10 a.m. mini session. Unleaded almost back up to Well, it was. Now it's back below the 50 EMA. Almost had gotten back up to the entry. Pound Aussie with a new long trade. That's a squeeze zone short on the Pound Aussie, so that's filtered. Now, given where the moving averages are, I would go 492 on that for the stop. Man, we did get back up to the entry again on unleaded. Those kind of zebra stripes going along, right along the 50 EMA right now. Back and forth, above and below. Down close on, let's say that. And cancel, yeah, three cancel bars for, thought I remembered that on. So there's two closes below the balance line. It's 8-pip range bar. That's low of the bar is 494.6. Only 502.6. And the balance line's at 503.1. So this is going to be a third close below, and that would cancel the long setup. Unleaded touching the entry again. All right, we are in our 10 a.m. crude mini session. Get in sync with the short. Unleaded is still long. Soybeans is long. Soybeans trying to reach up for target 1 again. Down closing, yeah. Any bar right now, and we're balance lines currently at 5013, and low of that bar is 491.1, so 499.1. So yeah, we're definitely going to close below the balance line on this bar. So that will definitely cancel the. That's interesting. Oh, I guess hitting the entry on the filtered trade canceled the long trade based on what the calculator is seeing. Squeeze zone filtered long on crude. We still have the short that's valid as a get in sync. Where is that one now? All right, 50 is at 02. Setup is at 01. We could adjust to 03 and take that trade, because that would move the entry outside of above the 50. The 20 is also in that area. So it has not triggered, even unadjusted. Long trade on The pound Aussie is canceled. Squeeze zone is definitely not been canceled. Unleaded still stuck right at the entry. Crude can go either way. Go up for a long, down for a short. Looks like 1M and the micro Russell are both setting new session highs. Micro Russell not giving us any trades. Still no trades in micro Russell. We did get target 1 on soybeans. This isn't going to be a manual. And I think, yep, we stopped out. So target 1 and 1 tick plus 1 plus 3 ticks, 3 positions remaining. Target 1 was worth 8 ticks. So we get 2 3/4 points total and a one and done morning. Hit target 1 on the nose. Came back and stopped out at the break even stop. Pound Aussie is still flat. Still valid trades long and short on crude, but it's currently still flat. Get in sync short, and for the moment, let's see. Now, if we close down here, that's going to cancel the long. That's an add-on short. Looking for 2 more trades on Micro Russell. Looking for a 10 a.m. trade on crude. I think I will stay with the larger trade that the calculator is tracking on crude. Unleaded in the long trade. Soybeans is done. The YM is done. Micro NQ is done, and the 9 a.m. crude mini session was done. Okay, we said the long trade canceled. Let's go back for. And there is an entry into the short, so we are short. Touching the short entry for get in sync. Calculator will track this properly. Money management 73, target at 71 and 63. Bounced off the 200 EMA on crude up to the balance line. Let's see what it's testing that now. Let's wait and see. Crude bouncing, putting unleaded right back to the entry again. Still nothing on micro Russell. No change. Crude still hanging around the entry. Unleaded hanging around the 50 EMA. Kind of stuck, and we're reaching 10:30. All right, crude testing the 200 again. That's pushed. Yeah, I was going to say that's pushed the unleaded down below the 50, but it's right back up to the 50. Crude's back to the entry. This looks like it's going to be a broken record trade. Test the EMA, come back to the entry. Crude at the entry, unleaded touch the entry again. Crude and unleaded definitely in consolidation. Testing the 200 again on crude. No action in the pound Aussie or micro Russell. Back to the 50 EMA on unleaded. Yeah, crude down below the 200 EMA, testing, coming back up to test it again. Unleaded still hanging around the 50 EMA. And crude Back up to test the balance line again. 20 SMA. Yeah, pushing through the balance line, testing the 20 SMA now. $58.92. Unleaded, pushing up through the entry again, getting to the previous swing high. Soybeans going targets after stopping out, unfortunately. New short setup on pound Aussie, just below the 50 EMA. Tick minimum to target 1. Still short on crude, long on unleaded. Flat on the micro Russell and on pound Aussie. Yeah. Crude made it up to test the 50 EMA and then was rejected there, so back down almost to the entry. Unleaded came down almost to the entry and back up a bit. Pound Aussie being rejected slightly above the 50. All right. And there's another filtered long on crude. And that's not one I want to adjust around to take. So short on crude, long on unleaded, no change there. Potential short trade setup on the pound Aussie hasn't triggered yet. Just below the 50 EMA. No trades on micro Russell. No change. Still the same positions. Crude still testing the 50 EMA. It's gone from going entry to 200. Now it's testing 50 to entry on the upside. Crude back at the balance line. Unleaded back at its entry. Oh my. And zebra stripes is in a slightly different place. Same old, same old. There's another add-on short, a little bit small, a little smaller trade, but no. And we take a loss on the short trade on micro Russell. So that's 5 trades, 2 losses, a win, and 2 break evens. Come down 0.3, 25.42. Unfortunately, we hit the stop. Crude testing the 200 again. Unleaded testing the 50 again. Soybeans set a new high, now back down to the slightly below the session open. Really tight, pretty tight range on soybeans this morning. Not much to do. Unleaded and crude on different teams right now. Short on crude, long on unleaded. Not looking good for one of the two. Still can't get through those moving averages. Still a valid short on the pound setup on the pound Aussie. Trying to break through 200 on the crude and 50 on the EMA, or 50 on unleaded. Not going much of anywhere. All right, finally breaking through. Not good for the unleaded trade, but good for the crude trade. Getting close to money management. All right, there's money management, and target one So that is will be a one and done session for 10 a.m. Another short setup on Micro Russell. This is a small trade, so we got to move 5 ticks. And we've hit the stop, but because we have not hit the target, trade is still valid. And crude picks up target 2, so 13 and 21, 34 ticks on this one, along with 39 this morning, 73 ticks on the day. Crude is done unleaded. Definitely taking heat, bouncing off its 200 EMA. Crude bouncing off the session open. All right. Micro Russell trade did trigger in. That's trade number 6, so that's the final trade there. See what it's going to do. It almost got to money management. All right, crude is off the table, so the unleaded trade now is free to go wherever it wants. Crude trade is done. So now we can go. We could end up winning both of these. All right. Micro Russell getting to money management. So there is our break-even stop. Looking for target at 38.3. getting as low as 38.5. All right. Now crude is done. We have Pound Aussie Micro Russell on its final trade is going to be at least a break even. We'll see if we can wrap up this Micro Russell trade. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave the unleaded hanging. There is a long trade set up on on the Pound Aussie. That is with the stop right at the entry of the short. For the moment, the short's still valid. I would say the long is the more likely trade. All right, long trade triggers in on Pound Aussie. Crude going into another consolidation mode just above the session open. Unleaded consolidating above the 200 EMA. Good morning, Sade. Haven't been looking at the chat. It's been fairly quiet this morning. Slow movement. See what's going to happen here. Looking like it's likely to be a stop out on the Micro Russell. That's going to be a break even. Yep, there it is. Break even stop out on the Micro Russell. Three break evens, 1 win, 2 losses. That's going to be not too terribly far off of break even because we did get targets 3 and 4 and a fair trailer, a little bit of a trailer. So crude finished, Micro Russell finished, Pound Aussie's long, as is unleaded. But this is where I'm going to have to close it down, and we will see you tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. regular session. We will do a 10 a.m. crude mini session because the inventory report is not going to be until noon tomorrow. So we will see everybody at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Everybody have a good afternoon, and see you then.